Mercury is going to go retrograde, and it's going to go back. So we're in retrograde shadow right now. Well, it will be retrograde shadow. Let me just see. Well, no, it starts at 8 degrees. So soon enough, we'll have retrograde shadow starting at 8 degree, just about 5 days from now. And the Mercury square Uranus, I don't know, look for aviation accidents on the news, um, miscommunications for sure. Mercury retrograde also, right? That means that you might find things falling apart electronically. Uh, but for the most part, with that being like the first planet that enters into Pisces, it it conjuncts, or sorry, it just enters into Pisces. See, we have this eclipse coming up. No, this astrology is so intense, so I'm not really going to talk about it too much. There is other astrologers that are much more organized than I am, right? You know. So what do you do here, Shauna? Oh, I'm an entertainer. You know, there's a lot that I could do, entertain. So anyway, but we do have this beautiful Aquarius-ness. I love that the Venus is in Aquarius right now at 28 degrees and it's going to hit 29. See, Venus is going to go into Pisces here on the 11th, and it's going to square Uranus. See, because we have Uranus here, uh, well, it's already kind of square to Uranus. Sorry about that. It is square to Uranus. So, how are you guys doing? You know, I just got through some botulism. I just haven't had that in a while, but it came up because I was being stupid with. I ate a bunch of chocolate, and that was gross, but I'm getting back on track though, see? It wasn't good to do that chocolate thing. I just thought, oh, I could eat chocolate all day and walnuts, and no, I had to do a literal purge, and I'm restoring my entire system. And anyway, there's just a lot of huge change. See, we have all of this Aquarius, and then there is a eclipse coming, right? That's the big thing on the 17th? Yeah, the 17th. It's at 28 degrees. I know a lot about that degree because I have a 28 degree Mercury in Libra, and it's the air anaretic degree in the air signs that I'm familiar with. So it's just very heavy, a lot of wind. Wind comes to mind for me with Aquarius, and knowledge that through Pisces, it really expresses artistically in many ways. It can, and that's what we have is like this massive creation of creation, whatever lifts up out of it. See, there's a lot of potential there, but you have to do the work, right? So with, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Okay, so this is the 11th, or this is the 10th of February, and I'm going to be putting this up on probably the 14th or something. And there's other videos that are coming up too that I don't know. I'm trying to get them edited, and but I think we're okay, right? How are you guys doing? See, I went through this purge, and I don't doubt that you guys are going through something too with this. It's just the aftermath. Yeah, we just have these squares to Uranus, and that's very unstable. You know, it just causes um, like loosening up and jiggling around and reordering, I guess. And so anyway, just making this video 5 minutes. It seems like I'm struggling, but I made some other videos that are longer, and I'm going to edit them. This is just updating, kind of like, you know, this is probably the freshest video you will see, even though I put it 4 days ahead. Hi, how are you guys doing during the purge? You know, there's a purge happening, and it does involve what we might be looking at that comes around on media, you know, hard to tell if that's sheer distraction or if it's real. See, I say mind your own business, and as much as you can, you should learn meditation and create your own home or abode, if you possibly can, into ashram, where it's like you don't allow people in. I mean, they can't get in unless they're practicing love and peace, right? It's not necessarily practicing. This is an achievement, and that's where some places need to open up and be kind of what is needed so that it can spread out. And because, well, what's on the edges right here when we say spread out is evil, and it's ignorance, and it's darkness. And see, I hate to say it, but big money is kind of behind that. And when we really kind of meditate on what big money is paying for or fueling, you don't want anything to do with it. You don't want that chase. See, I think we're living in a time, me particularly, that with all of the Aquarius age stuff coming on, and it's going to start when the eclipse happens, just very fast movement we're going to see. That's just the nature of Aquarius. And luckily we have some Mercury retrograde in Pisces and stuff to kind of send us in a dream world, you know. It's Neptune ruled, and we know that Neptune is conjunct Saturn in Aries this time, and it's going to really conjunct right there at 0 degrees for the first time to the very minute. See, this hasn't happened in but 6,000 years, and I might have repeated this. I might have said this once before, but I'm going to repeat it because it's important to know this. See, I have not heard this. Maybe I have, but let's just talk about Buddhism now and how old it is. It's like 6,000 years old. Now, they're saying that the Neptune-Saturn conjunction has not happened in but 6,000 years ago. And so, no, that makes sense. See, in Aries, we're talking about the I am. And so the main thing that is coming up is the nature of reality. We're going to be looking at that, and then we're going to construct our teachings into more. I say that the teachings, like the literal schools, are going to change through this. It has to happen. See, into more creative modes, more creativity, not this cerebral obey, right? Learn and obey, and then do the money thing, which is very ill. You know, it kind of promotes illness in a lot of ways. And, you know, like 99.99% of it is psychological. When it comes to all of the, especially the beliefs as to what we need to do through money. Oh my God, to date, you guys, do you realize that the world is completely fake if you are in America, and if anything's infected out of the country by America and the money system, you are running on bullshit. All of it. It's horrible to think about. It's hard. It's difficult. It's not meant to, like, just fit into your brain, but look, man, you guys, yeah, you don't want to know, right? But some of us are on the outskirts here talking about that thing where we are battling it. We're noticing it, and it has nothing to do with anything but how we feel, right? It's our bodies that are having to purge, and also because it's been too long of trying to align with something that is disharmonious. And now I'm talking about the total collective here, the organism, the world, the contagion of materialism and money, you know, what that is all hooked up into. And, you know, when I sit here and meditate, because I do, I pick up that it hasn't been that long at all that all of this stuff has just completely gone into a clown act. It hasn't been that long. And in fact, hardly, well, for sure, just 100 years. See, they program this, and they're doing it more and more to where they're just shortening the lives of people, and they're able to create change more and more, that it goes away from something that is more wholesome, see. We already know a lot of stuff. See, that's what Aquarius is going to bring into us, is that the fact that we already know. And so the big business is to go off base completely. And unfortunately, you look at it, the big business is the commodity of us, men and women, particularly their forever life creative process that is caught in a forever life. It's a circle, right? The egg and the sperm, right? That's what we're coming up on, right? Is Easter. But now we're doing Valentine's Day. And how did you like my last Valentine's Day? It's really difficult to talk about the astrology because there's so much and it is so deep. So what is the best thing to do? And what we know is just we start to just put the book down and start like playing music or channeling, see. And oh, it's not over yet, kids. We are going through this beautiful time. You know, it's life itself, and this is the most exciting times to live. I mean, come on, we're going to reset. And you thought Jesus was coming to town? No, Buddha is coming to town. That's what's going on. And I am here to tell you, and I have been here to tell you, that's just a conversation between two very different types of people. And I'm also here to tell you how your language is hooked up, pre-programmed. It is pretty much already here. You just have to like uncover it. You have to raise it up, right? Like I'm showing you, like get back to basics. What we're talking about is something very profound historically. Yeah, and it will happen for us. I can't believe that Uranus is still at 27 degrees and it just went forward like 6 days ago. Yeah, on the 4th. And so now from 27 degrees it's going to go forward and we're going to experience it hitting. See, we might see some earth shifts because here in, well, March, it's going to hit the very late anaretic degree and it's moving very slow. So this is, it's just moving so slow, this Uranus transit that's still in Taurus. And that it's still making us look at what we value and our love lives, what we have when we come together. Like, are we even coming together? See, because that's what we have. That's our riches there. And the truth is no. We see a population that turns against itself for profit, right? And now this is where I come in at hardly minute 13. You women, how do you like the scene now? I mean, really, do you guys ever talk to each other at all? Do you notice a clashing between you two? And do you ever acknowledge what may be the difference there? Oh my God, I don't care. There's too much. It's just a huge vat full of chaos in the form of people. And then what do we have? We have a little club over there that's taking from you and eating your children. Oh, I don't see that, but we're kind of hearing about it, and you wouldn't believe it's a lot worse than that. You know, you have some sci-fi movies out there that kind of depict some things, and it's all very symbolic, you see. But what if? It's a big what if, like in The Matrix, the movie. I haven't seen that. I gotta watch it again. I only saw it like once. And I remember it was like coming on to, well, this is very Buddhist. It's a very Buddha concept. For some reason, I remember seeing that. But then I remember the scene where, for some reason, there's a scene where there's like these people stuck in pods, right? And it's really kind of gross looking. They're being fed in every way. Their biomes are in these pods, and it's like, anyway, you know that scene, right? What is that? I don't know. It's a symbol of something. Okay, so can we like back engineer in such a way where, like, you know, Luke Skywalker goes in and just boom, blows it up, man, says, you know, you cannot use our blood for that. Woo! Hi, did you just want to go to Disneyland and eat some cotton candy? Well, go for it. Go ahead. It's just a fucking wash here, it seems like. Now, what are we gonna do? See, you know what I sense? That it's not a wash. It's been a wash for a while, but we're going to see some real live, like uncharted territory coming up, like with this. See, with Neptune and Aries. Aries rules heroes and the rising up, right? Aries, arise, right? Hi, Patsy. That's what that means. It's the arise. It's the I am. Hey, I am here, and that's all you need. See, the Aries is does not let emotional problems build up. They just absolutely come out and say it, and then they get it over with, and then they're fine. That's just the healthy way of being spontaneous. And you go like this, and and you kind of like ask questions just later, but it's not that much later. It's just you have to realize you live in reality. That's what the Buddha is trying to say. And your mind is an aftermath, and so is talking. Yeah, and never think that anything else is going on with that. See, narcissists are living in their mind and they're talking. And this is where you have a backdrop that is, it could regress. In fact, it's in uncharted territories as far as like, well, you would like to think that we're stuck in the 50s and then here comes a war or something. But really, it's like now, because of the call cosmically, the system is falling apart. See, we have crumbling of the foundation, like we see some stuff, but do we see enough? Oh, I see. Yes. If there's people like me, a Barbie doll up in the mountains, actually I've meditated a lot so I can pick up on this stuff. And so you go on the computer and it pretty much it shows you, no, this is real. That's the way to use it. You don't get any information from it. You're just curious, and then you go there and it confirms this is it. That's real. That's live. You don't go there and get information on people. You know them. You meet them. Pardon me. I'm just getting angry at this fucking stupid population that Googles up people's records and stuff, and you don't even have respect for who they really are. Man, you people are hardly even here as human beings. We're going to start identifying you and just quarantining you off. I hope so. That's where we get our own central banking system. For what? Well, to protect ourselves and come up with our own brands and see, instead of taking them all to court and trying to get their money that way, make them pay for the things that they don't know how to do. See, there's where we have a lot of stuff that has gone like to shit, like money, food, everything. Everything. Until we start to put the money in the right place and say, no, you do it like this, see. Fuck money. Not a single real woman or creative person, benevolent, like Tesla, is interested in money. They're interested in their creative life and their intellectual property, which is to access whatever they need on the earth to use and make what they have an idea. And to remain in their spiritual belonging, too. That's the main thing. But see, money isn't where it's at. No way. It never has been. And that is the question that Jesus Christ, the story, right, talks about, let's flip the tax tables and then go to the courthouse and get very intense times. We are going through like a regurgitation, and it's pretty violent because it's from the depths of humanity, like, right? That's the 28 anaretic degree of Aquarius, which is the big old cup now is full. There's 30 degrees, and now it's getting topped off. I mean, 29 degrees is very full, but see, we have this eclipse at 28, might as well be 29 degrees too, see. And it's just the woman, the Aquarius is the symbol of a woman that is pouring water, all of this knowledge that we already know. And if you can become quiet enough, if you did purge, so kind of like what I did with my chocolate, and really it just came out both ends, and now I'm doing like the really raw, like I want to start feeding my gut better, right? And all of that stuff. Mainly trying to keep parasites down, right? And so we're doing it for you, you guys. If you can't do it, if you're in the city and it's too noisy, there are people that are just kind of in their inner space, right? But we are able to be in Mother Nature, and I would suggest you go out in nature. It's difficult with this particular moon eclipsing sun. It's a new moon eclipse, so it's square to Uranus. It really does square Uranus, and I don't doubt that. Oh boy, with that being an eclipse too, we'll have some major Earth kind of catastrophes that might go on. It might get set off. In fact, Stefan Burns, who does the Earth uh, Schumann resonance updates and everything with the sun and stuff like that, and how the sun is charging up the Earth, is talking about how it's been so charged up over the last week that it's so charged up. I mean, we've had blows from the sun, CME and plasmatic castings is what I'm calling it, wind. He's saying that the electrical field of the Earth, the seismic activity has stopped. There's like none, but there should be a lot with this. And then but we can see astrologically that it might really just trigger off with this eclipse thing that goes on. So store up plenty of water, drinking water, like 20 gallons of good drinking water, and store up plenty of beans and rice and oils, and because we might experience, I mean, especially around here in California with the San Andreas Fault, and just there's major things going on around the world that the Uranus in Taurus. But see, we have a mixture too. When we talk about Aquarius, it's technological. There is technological interference going on everywhere, and that's what's causing a lot of problems. And it's interesting, but we'll see how reality really is. That's what the Buddha is trying to tell us. The Buddha says, babe, so within, it is without. So, God, could you see, the more people we have, just plain old, just people having people for the sake of having people, babies, yes, it's just, you have to slow down because, okay, first of all, how much are you getting paid to feed it to the Epstein files or whatever, People, there are families being paid big money. And you see, this is what I'm going to start exposing is how that big money, whether they really know it or not, they full on know that they're going to get a shipment of children in right now. They're coming in on the island and then they're going to go over here and we're going to wrap them up however we do. And they really know. Or you're just a money maker out there just working for who knows what. But you're working for that money that is poisoning people and fucking everybody. Sorry, pardon me, but yeah. And see, it's like they're paid to be this horrible fucking interference. Yeah, and all of this other stuff going on underground. Babes, there is going to be a huge awakening, but we have to do the purging out. Scrape that stuff out, throw it up. How are you doing with all that? I kind of went through that just here in the past 24 hours, and I'm feeling so much better. I kind of had a fever, and you know how it feels like, it just feels like you're going to die or something, but then when you start feeling better, for me, the area, see, this is kind of, I bet you anything, this is kind of how we're going to feel. See, with Neptune and Saturn, and then this eclipse that's going to happen, especially, babes, now, we're talking about later on when we get into the, see, we still have to go through this dream time. It's hard to imagine that we have Pisces to get through, the sun in Pisces, right? After it squares Uranus on the 17th here. And this sun in Pisces is very, it's just gonna force everybody to be more, no, you just have to stay in hibernation. It's not really time to come out yet. Yeah, no, it's not time to come out yet. But see, the organism, and it includes me, babes, I'm ready, right? We're feeling it. It's the precursor, but going to start coming out. And a lot of what that is corrupt, the side of the organism that's turning on the other side, that doesn't know how to practice love, that doesn't know how to click out and say, no, isn't this a beautiful home we have? And then be cool with that, because we all know that there's a money system out there, and that's just a given, right? I mean, if we can get our own banking that protects us even more, and we get straight in our head what is considered the public and what isn't, right? Because there's a private thing going on that, like I said, the more money you make, see, whoever it is, it's kind of thick up here where I live, so you can kind of see how it operates. I call it the world condensed. And it's too bad. It's too bad. But here's what's too bad is that we're just going to see who you work for. That's all. There's a satanic darn cult out there that works for the mind, the desire of mind, which says, I am more real than the truth. See, that's Antichrist. A lot of people don't know what these words are, and I'm here to help us out with that. It's like, oh, don't give it such the human connotation. It's just within, we're dealing with Satan, and then we're dealing with the possibility of knowing God and or love, the heart, the real light that we are bringing in, and it kills mind. You have to kill mind, baby. See, that's the Buddhist movement that I'm talking about. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. People don't really talk about that, but I will. It's the higher octave of Venus. It's very, very, oh man, Venus is kind of gnarly, right? She has her way about her. If, she's not going to make a big fuss, she's very quiet if she's wanting to do revenge or something like that. See, the big V there, revenge, vindictive, but it has to do with our values and stuff, see, and it's simple. It's like, if you do not get that we all need clean water, and especially like all of it, we need clean entertainment, we need clean everything. It could be so much more beautiful. I've always heard that. Especially over the last 5 years, some people are like, they take their mask off. And I love the way that people were taking their masks off to talk to me. And I would do the same thing. I mean, if you had to go in the store or something, but we done doing that. We're over it, right? But so, yeah. And they would say, they would take the mask off and we're looking at each other and I say, it could be such a beautiful place, but, it's just a great opportunity, but it's always ruined. By what? Here, pay $5 for your fucking apple. Shee! Have a good day, you guys. I hope you guys are doing better. We will start be getting better. And there is no death. There is no sickness. And there is no getting old. Get over it. Let go. Let God.